I'm going to be sharing with you some of the magic of what happens when we unlock our innate healing abilities. Can you imagine if every single doctor on the planet, the very first thing that they would do is teach their patients how to amp up their physiology to heal, to love more, to have more compassion, to invite more forgiveness into our hearts? How if all of us amped up our oxytocin generating capacities, how we would amp up our immune system, we would all sleep better, our digestion would be improved, our relationships would be more loving. I just got back from Bank Code event with Cherry Tree, and I learned a lot about the 4 different personality types. And I'm so inspired because all the work that I've been doing these past 22 years, praying to God, show me what are the quickest ways for people to heal. I've studied shamanism, physical therapy, yoga, sound healing, mindset processes like Psyche, brain balancing, neuro-linguistic programming. I've learned so many different techniques. And the technique that a lot of us don't get to learn is how to turn ourselves on inside to our innate healing abilities. And that's what the Alva method is all about. This is a process of self-discovery where we are utilizing and harnessing our innate natural abilities to heal ourselves. So when I make these posts, if anybody's interested in clearing and processing their chronic pain, message me. I'm amazed at how few people message me. If I had chronic pain for 10 to 12 years, I would message me right away. And what I realized is you can have the answers to suffering and pain, but what I feel maybe I should be posting instead is, are you willing and are you ready to experience yourself in a different way other than what you're used to? And maybe that would be a better question, because I find that a lot of us are really comfortable, and I'm projecting here, this was me, okay? Really comfortable in our situations. And I was talking to somebody just this weekend who's having pain in her knees, and she hasn't called me. So I'm asking you all, what can I do better to serve and get out there and share these approaches? Because there's something going on where either we don't believe that we're powerful, maybe that's the underlying disbelief is in our innate power. Sometimes I think also people look at me and they say, oh, there she goes again talking about rapid healing, but healing has to take time. So what I'm talking about is just the ability to process and release chronic pain. That's what I'm talking about. And yes, there's something really magical about healing taking time and the strengthening that happens through suffering and through challenges. And yes, there's this purposefulness to the hero's journey. However, when I work with people that have been going for the past 10 years to chiropractors, acupuncturists, doctors, have surgeries, repeated surgeries. I worked with a celebrity who had 11 neck surgeries. She's an icon on the planet, and she was still having pain. And that's partly why working with these type of high-level clients, private clients, that have paid for all the medical intervention, and then they come see me, and in one session, because I'm teaching them how to process their own past woundedness themselves in their body themselves, when they have this intimacy, listening to their body wisdom, learning how to breathe through their full range of motion of their diaphragm, maximizing their respiratory system and stretching the fascia within themselves is such an empowering way of being that the client leaves feeling like a superstar. They leave saying, why didn't anybody teach me this before? Why didn't anybody teach me how to help myself before? And so this is my passion, this is my wish, and this is why I'm sharing this video, to spark a question of how can I better serve and how can I get the word out more? And yes, I have an intention to create a healing online academy. I'm writing a book. But even in these little posts, what wording could I use better? And then to address the issue of our mindset, our healing mindset, and our heal abilities, our harnessing our own powers. This, like being a superpower, teaching people with chronic pain that they're superpower pleasure experts that can transform their pain to pleasure. I'm just kind of thinking about the different ways that I can be presenting this, because I want to do more. Address the issue of want versus need. So wanting to be free of their pain. Do you desire to be free of your pain? Thank you, Adam. Yeah, so I'm just really inspired because I worked with someone on the phone this morning and they feel so much better after the 30-minute clarity call. And I wasn't even doing a true session. This was a clarity call. So even from the clarity calls, it's amazing how we are so powerful that we can actually manifest this amazingness. So I'm just really excited, and I appreciate all of you saying yes to yourself, and yes to living a life where you are amping up your innate powers of love and powers to heal. Chronic pain in the person. Well, I don't heal anything. I teach people how to release and process chronic pain, but I also work with people with emotional pain, traumas in the bodies. I also am really good at teaching people how to be intuitive and how to connect to, I call it your soul essence. Basically, when we're not thinking and analyzing and we're the witness, which is what meditation's all about, you get to experience your divine essence beyond your ego. And a lot of times we do these things in mental practices. So where I come in is I'm teaching you inside your body, getting really intimate with your specific body tissues from the way that a physical therapist could bring that. That's also been taking Yes. So you're using your actual physical body, which is mostly made of energy, as the source of yourself, amping up the flow of your energy, and also listening to your body tissues. Because what I've discovered over the past 22 years working with people is that people have more than just physical pain. I would say 90% of it is a childhood trauma. Something happened that caused them to hold in their body. Or, for example, do you worry a lot? Do you hold guilt and shame in your body? Do you judge yourself? Those different emotions, those different thoughts and patterns literally create tension in the body. And when we have criticism, judgment, analysis, we're not being love. We're not being what we are. When we have compassion and acceptance and forgiveness and just listening without judgment, the body heals, the body releases the past. And so this is where the Alva method is really about training people to be athletes in the sport of love, and athletes in the sport of healing physiology, activating. It's a science-based approach, but it's also very much about embodiment. And it's in alignment with mindfulness meditation, because the whole thing is mindfulness. But then we're using shamanic rituals that are modernized because rituals are so powerful. Yeah, and then with the Tantra, once we graduate and we release the chronic pain, then we become experts of pleasure and lightness and freedom and embodying the feeling of pleasure, because when we stimulate the pleasure nerves, the pain nerves are inhibited. So if we look at science and we take the wisdom of science, it would actually be super smart for doctors to prescribe a pleasure diet, a pleasure experience, experiencing more pleasure. And this is what I want to do. And some of my clients are doctors, and I'm asking them, how can I better serve, and what type of research can I do to be helping to bring more pleasure and lightness? Because I think there's so much negative news in the world where we're constantly being bombarded that we start to think that that's normal, that chronic pain is normal. And we even call it chronic pain management to the degree, yes. I love what you're doing, Adam. You're awesome. So listen, everyone, I scheduled myself an awesome session with Mario Sanchez Avila. I got to go. And I will be sharing later on my experience with some body work. I'm going to get some body work now. Perfect thing to do after my trip, sitting on that plane. I love you all. Make sure to give someone a hug today. Hug yourself first. Look in the mirror and just tell yourself how much you love yourself. Mwah! And I love you all. Bye.